Oh! Corona Cast. I know you smell some treats, but where are they? Can you find them? I'll give you a hint. They're located in 3 different locations in this kitchen. Corona Cast.
Hey everybody, it's Billy
and Megan,
and we're starting to be able to start these off pretty seamlessly. That's good.
I'm learning, guys.
Yeah, you're slowly gonna get more comfortable where you're not performing. I can't wait.
But I'm always a performer. No. Yeah, that was on purpose. Now you're just making a face. Okay, do not put your feet on my boobs.
Okay,
that is gross.
So we talked about last night the article at the cut. The cut.
Yeah,
I forgot. That was time. It's a flat circle. We talked about our reactions to the cut, but we have been seeing a slew of reactions to this article.
I mean, I think you were dealing with it worse than I am, but you were also directly tagged in it, whereas like I'm just kind of like the secret person that some of my friends are figuring out it is about me, which is pretty funny because somebody sent it to me and they were immediately like, I thought this was you, and then I clicked it and it was like, oh, yep. That was her. Wow, what a small world.
I'm just glad that New York Magazine doesn't have a comment section. Oh, wait.
Yes, it does.
There it does.
It says, I hope Billy and Kyle live happily. I'm a beard?
Whoa.
Okay. You both are...
Right.
Did anything you say in the article really like validate
I didn't say
doing this? It was like, oh, we're just sharing a space and cuddling.
It's like, we're sharing a space and a lady, and we didn't say we were also planning, to praise Hitler in the process. Like what? The fuck?
Yeah, we didn't even get weirdly sexual with it either.
It wasn't even gross.
Yeah, I'm like, it's pretty,
It seems like
platonic.
The Cut really specializes in writing about complete degenerates.
Wow.
Yeah,
say that to my
degenerates.
business degree, bitch. I mean, you have to keep in mind that we do exist in an alternative.
This person has like some valid things. Is saying like we should be fortunate to have these people sharing their lives in whatever times. Gives us all just a tiny glimpse at those fascinating private spaces that define their remarkable lives. I'm filled with questions that I yearn. Questions, for example, regarding the nature of toothbrush storage.
Singular cup, not touching each other.
Yep.
Has the holes in it.
Dishwashing responsibilities.
That is Billy, actually.
I'm the cuck.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning to the entire internet calling me a cuck. I was like, that's hilarious.
Because he definitely is not a cuck, but I think it's hilarious.
But if you are a cuck, there's nothing wrong with being
That's
a cuck.
what I said. It's like shaming the cucks. I think cucks are very valuable and a necessary thing in our society. I love some good cucks.
What sort of weed is being smoked beside the open window? Whatever is in that bottle. I'm not a snob about it.
Yeah, I got some good stuff, but it was my first time actually buying weed in my life. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am 29 years old. I've been very privileged.
I didn't buy weed for the first time until I was 28 or 29.
Yeah, but you didn't really smoke until then either. Right?
I would smoke when people like
recreationally,
had it offered. Or like I would find free weed in weird places. Like one time I got into a lift and like I sat down something and it was a Tupperware container filled with marijuana.
How does that happen?
So,
that is
it was
unbelievable.
It might have been like $200 worth of weed. I don't know weed pricing, but I know it's probably $200 to $500 worth of weed. It was
wow.
So I just never really paid for it. But yeah, I'm not particular about weed. I have a mixture of stuff.
I just know one makes me sleepy and another one makes me less sleepy.
Right. The first one,
but I am a sleepy baby.
And the second one is probably a hybrid.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not allowed to smoke until nighttime.
During this crisis, am smoking I'm high right now. So
yeah, he is currently high.
Whether the writer manscapes. Technically, the writer was a lady, dude. But I keep. How would you describe my pubic situation?
You keep it kempt. I like your pubic situation. It's never like scratched my face. It's never felt itchy when we've had sex. I've never gotten like razor burn.
Do you ever not like a regular partner situation?
No, I like to let people dictate their
No,
bodies.
I'm not saying that. I know you like to let people dictate their own behaviors. I'm still saying that's a separate question from have you ever not liked their pubic situation?
Yes, if I'm going to be honest, I have.
Literally only be honest. It's your main job.
Yeah, but I also I will accept if that's their situation.
That's right.
But I have had an incident where the hair was a little too bushy. Because I love a bush, actually. I kind of get weirded out when it's all shaved. And I know a lot of men that enjoy shaving it because they are like, well, if the other partners do it, I should do it. And that's great. But sometimes it just gets, when it gets to that weird 2-day phase when you fully shave it and it's just like scratchy. Just feels like, and that's when you get the little nicks. And I have sensitive skin. So for me, that's just not ideal. But I also don't want to be coughing up hair while I'm down there because I like to take my time.
Okay. Do you not like the pubic situation of any of your current partners?
I'll not answer that. No. Actually, I think everyone's pretty trimmed.
I think your initial response is the more honest one, but that's okay. Let's see what else we have here. I might actually reply to him and be like, dude, send us questions.
Yeah, I'd love to answer some questions.
Letters from a soul.
Letters from a soul. That's such a wonderful way to end a caption on an internet.
So weird. Is anyone else confused by the word salad falling out of the mouth of the interviewee? That's fair. I was definitely a little rambly.
What did you say, salad?
This guy, no. He says... He's quoting me.
Uh-huh.
He says, but of course you want your girlfriend's other boyfriend to like you. I would imagine. If he was a total asshole, that would certainly probably make me and Megan's relationship a bit more difficult. So I just want him to not think the same of me. And then the guy said, is anyone else confused by the word salad falling out of the mouth of the
now I understand. I just took salad. I was like...
This is the first
yes, that's completely fair.
I've seen on all of this that was accurate. It was
that's completely accurate.
I hung up the phone and I was like, babe, I think I fucking botched that one.
Yeah, I heard some of it and I was like, you are just spitting out words, but you know what? This is all you, baby.
Ooh, you might not like this one. It says, she must be really needy then if he's glad that there's another person to give her hugs and attention she needs because he can't fulfill her needs on his own. Well, that's not true.
Wow.
Not true for
aren't we all a little needy for human attention and affection and adoration?
But she's making it seem like I'm not, doing a good job.
You are doing a very good job on you are the most touchy person I think I have ever been with.
Touchy.
Yeah. This is the person that's like, let's make out in front of everyone.
And then there's one comment that just says degenerate. So there's and then Twitter was pretty much just full of calling me a simp or a cuck. But Instagram, wow. Mwah. Instagram was really
Instagram's where the juice is. And it's funny because 2 fellow plus-size bloggers I saw commented on it. And I was like...
What'd they say?
They didn't know it was me. But
So?
it was right. They didn't say anything.
matter.
They were just like, this is juicy.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't say anything derogatory, but I was laughing because of all the people to be on there. It was 2 plus-size bloggers I actually respect and follow and like quite a bit. And I was like, oh, if only they knew this was me.
Well, but the thing is, it should, the people who are shitting on it, if it was their friend, maybe they wouldn't. But it's I shouldn't be because there's really nothing offensive going on.
There is nothing really offensive besides the fact that we are in a polyamorous relationship. It's working. I mean, most relationships have difficulty and then we're adding these extra factors into it. And according to this interview, we are navigating that with communication. And I know, that's what I'm saying. How dare we have a functioning multitude of relationships?
Yeah, and for all the incels, it's how dare I get laid, I guess. I don't know.
Well, for me, it was how dare she take all the men? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
But also, I'm not taking, I'm sharing. You can have them too.
Yeah, you can have them too.
In fact, I'll rent them out to you. No. Were there
No.
any comments in particular that stood out to you that I can bring up?
Oh my goodness. There was one where it was these are white people problems.
Right.
That was a pretty
this is a white person problem, I promise you. It had 242 likes.
Yeah.
But it's I tried to battle that and a lot of people were agreeing. And this is actually something I've heard about. It's not something I'm standing on. It's just more I've heard about that, a lot of black poly kind of gets erased a lot. And
yes, definitely, which is completely unfair.
Through all sorts of cultural differences that I am not well read enough to get into, but apparently it's very difficult for very different reasons to be like black and poly. And there are some like great like, you know, people,
resources,
educators groups. So like I respond to the comment just tagging like Black Poly Nation, Black Poly Pride. Kevin Patterson, who is he's at Poly Role Models. He wrote a book about race and polyamory. That people should check out, even though he might not like me. I'm not sure.
I also know somebody else who's called Glittersaurus Rex on Instagram that focuses on sex education, play parties, polyamory, and she's like a great resource for that as well. So if you're looking for something more specifically to that, definitely a great follow.
Yeah, and it's just like, because it's not just a white person thing, but I think it's also because when we see the limited media portrayals of non-monogamy, it's typically of white people. So, of course, you might think that, but it's definitely far from the truth.
Yeah. Also, somebody said like white Mexican on there, and I was like, I'm Guatemalan, thank you. At least get the country right.
Were there any other things you thought of that stuck out to you?
Oh my goodness. I think the dishwashing definitely killed me because I was like, yes. I mean, I don't understand why people don't want this. Like, I get to clean, cook. You know, my other partner takes care of the dogs and cleans. Billy, like, does the dishes and, you know, packs the bowl. And, you know, it's kind of like a designation of tasks.
Yeah, there's one commenter who says, shit, I could use an extra boyfriend for all these motherfucking dishes to wash. And I'm like, yeah, get on Tinder, start recruiting, build the cleaning staff in your home that you want to also sleep with. That's what I say. It was annoying to see so many people just kind of lash out in comment sections. Not just, you know, I know comment sections are trash, but it was just, we're doing something that's different. And forgive the dogs, but it's just wild. I'm like, we're not encroaching on anyone. No one here is married, so it's not like a controversial, like me sleeping with someone who's engaged, which I did a couple weeks back. It's nothing like that. It's just three people doing something that doesn't affect you. And so people were like so fucking mad, not just like laughing at us or something, but like mad. And I was like, what is wrong? So I guess like my question to Megan would be like, what were reading those comments like for you?
Well, I think for me, as somebody who also exists on the internet, the comments don't really faze me because I know that I'm living within my own truth and doing what works for me. And obviously that is not something that people will easily understand in a normal society, but we're not doing anything weird. We're not doing anything wrong. And if I let random strangers on the internet affect my everyday life, then I think I would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. No, you deal with trolls like on the daily. I definitely don't have that experience as you. What else is in here? There's also a lot. Yeah, again, it was confusing. A lot of dudes thought I was the cuck. Like, we're not fucking. I think it's just because they used the example that I gave of how you left bed the other night to go move into Austin's.
Yeah,
but
just like to sleep.
Yeah, but it's like you did that last night in reverse. Like you left the bed with Austin sometime this morning. You like slept in the bed with me, and it's like, what's the problem? There's also a lot of dudes who don't understand the concept. They think
of a woman having two boyfriends.
Yeah, but they're taking it from my end where they're not seeing me as a real man or something.
Yeah,
there's like a huge questioning of masculinity going on. They keep calling that into question. Like, how could I possibly be okay with you fucking another guy?
Yeah.
And so it's just so strange. Like that again, it's not that anyone's right or wrong. It's more like it's just different. We have a different view on masculinity, and I don't know. It was also another guy who said like, I bet neither of these two dudes are dominant. And I'm like, I mean, I know I'm not, and I'm happy about it. She's happy about it. And when your wife takes a work trip, quote unquote, to New York City, guess what? She's happy about it because she just tells me what you won't do, and then I do it.
Yeah, and I was like, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're passive either. I feel like we get so like into these roles that are dominant, submissive, and it's like sexuality is a spectrum to begin with. Why does it have to be so black and white? Like I think all of us, if we really boil down to it, do a lot of different things and do a lot of different roles.
Yeah. And there were one person said she's getting into a threesome whether she likes it or not, and I said, "Eep, no, because that would be rape.
Wow.
That would not be good."
Wow.
It's weird because like some people would say, "Well, look, there weren't a lot of people defending y'all," and I would say,
what is there to defend?
Well, to defend against the comments, I think I would say the reason there aren't as many positive comments is the people who would celebrate this, other non-monogamous people.
Yes.
You can't necessarily out themselves in the comment thread.
No.
Because they might not be out about what their relationship model is. So, there are plenty of people reading it who probably are happy to see someone else doing what they do, but they can't say it publicly. Otherwise, people will know their secret.
And that's why things like this are a necessity, so that we actually are talking about this and exposing different types of relationships and different types of communities.
Yeah. Do you have how about you're stuck inside with your significant other movie recommendation?
Oh my goodness. What did we watch last night?
What's a movie that could get the fluids flowing?
Ooh, the fluids flowing. Oh my goodness. Well, Deadpool.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not even a Ryan Reynolds fan, but I just think he's like banging with that like vintage jacket on.
Me too.
It just does it for me.
And
the woman whose name I can't recall is also very hot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. People, manwhorepod.com, all your Manwhore podcast needs. Patreon.com/manwhorepodcast if you want to help a whore out in troubling times and also join a kick-ass community. Megan, baby, you want to plug yourself?
Sure. I'm Miss Giggles on Instagram and Miss Giggles on Cash App.
And that's 3 G's in the middle for giggles. When you spell things weird in a handle, you got to tell them.
Oh.
Because otherwise,
noted.
how else do they know?
Well, I think I'd pop up by then. I don't know. MSGIGGGLES.
Yeah.
Corona
Cast. Corona Cast. Hey, everybody. It's actually just Billy for a second. I just read that this is Friday, and I just read that my governor is going to order everyone in the state, everyone who's non-essential, to stay home starting Sunday night. If you've been following along, I am in Jersey City at my girlfriend's place, and so this has just gone incredibly more real. It truly means like I'm in. I'm here. We better not kill each other. I hope we don't break up. I hope everything goes well because I am here for the foreseeable future now, not as a personal choice, a personal preference, but rather by legal mandate. Yeah. So we will see how this goes. I'm going to run into New York tomorrow, run home, grab my my contact lenses, and really I think I planned on a week or two, and so now I'm gonna go and really get my stuff, and we'll see. Corona Cast.
What am I doing it?
Well, not even the bass, just like when you put something into it.
Puts a little bit like oomph into it. This is my public speaking voice.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good.
you. Corona Cast.
Hey, everybody, it's Billy.
And Megan.
And is day 7 of our quarantine together.
I lost track of the days. I'm glad you're doing it.
Well, I mean, I got here Saturday. It's
Sure.
Friday.
Sure. It's Friday.
7 days in a week.
Pizza day.
Yeah. Oh, is it pizza day?
It's pizza day.
I did not
I gotta
know.
have something to look forward to, honestly, at this point.
I don't know what you're talking. See, this is what I mean by I think sometimes you get performative on mic because it's like
No,
we've been eating
pizza.
We've been eating junk every day though.
I've been trying to sneak in some veggies and stuff. You have been eating junk, and you were the one at 10 o'clock being like, I'm going to go get Wendy's.
And then you had Wendy's
okay,
too.
well, yeah, if you're going to go get Wendy's, how am I not going to get chicken
I'm just
nuggets?
saying, it seems like you go it's a pizza day. And I go yeah. I mean.
And I had I had grapes.
Why am I picking a fight with
English
you over
muffin.
Pizza day?
Yeah, I'm like,
I
what
have
did I
fights to
have
pick with
for lunch?
everybody else.
I had orange juice, a whole grain English muffin, and a handful of grapes. So my dinners, that's how I manage myself. It's my dinners are extravagant and everything else is pretty cool, calm, and collected.
Okay. Well, I am sorry to accidentally pick fights with you. I've just been picking fights all day.
You have been picking fights all day. I've been cleaning all day. My house is looking really nice and I'm really proud of it. But every time I have like a big railroad style of a house. So Billy is currently using my desk in my like closet of a room.
You're being modest. You have a 3-bedroom apartment and one of the bedrooms is just a walk-in closet.
I work very hard. But so anyways, like if I come towards the end of my house, I can hear Billy through the door. But if I'm doing other stuff on the other ends of the house, I can't inherently hear him. But every time I'd come closer to the door, it would immediately be like, not you heated, but definitely having like a stern conversation with someone. And I didn't know it was happening, but I wasn't sure if you're recording stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to wait till he comes out and then he can tell me what's going on.
Oh,
so you want to tell them what's going on?
So much. Well, so by now you may have heard that I did an interview with New York Magazine's The Cut. About how much of a cuck I am. And I got a lot of hate on the internet for it. Whatever. We talked about it.
You're such a cuck.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being a cuck, even though you're not a cuck?
It's like, it's so weird because like I'm not a cuck, but also it doesn't matter if I was, but like also I'm not. And then it's not polygamy and it's retarded to call us polygamous for multiple reasons. No one's married in the situation. It's one woman with multiple men. It's polyamory. It's not polygamy. I don't know. It's the whole thing. So I woke up, I was writing a newsletter that hopefully you got. And if you're not signed up at manwhorepod.com for the newsletter, what are you doing?
I don't think I get that.
Huh?
I don't think I get
it's
the
in
newsletter.
Your spam or your promotional folder. Yeah. People just search manwhorepod at manwhorepod@gmail.com in your email. You'll find these emails from me you've never gotten. Mark them as not spam or drag them into your primary folder. Like you're missing out on important announcements. But anyways, I digress. I'm writing the newsletter and I get Google alerts. And I'm like, what? Oh, did it get picked up or repurposed? And yeah, like the Daily Mail, it's a big fucking tabloid place. They picked up the piece, but they don't. What the Daily Mail does is what a lot of shitty, lazy media outlets do that isn't really journalism. Is they just pick up other articles and they copy and paste and they kind of move a lot of the words around and replace a few words, and now they have their quote unquote their own article, picking up the story. Which
do
like
they
whatever.
Give credit to
other
articles at least?
Yes. So if let's say. Yeah, like if I pick up a story that was originally reported, that original reporting was done, then you cite it. If it was something like AP, like a press release got blasted out, then you don't have to credit. But like if Deadline broke the news about Kumail Nanjiani being cast in a thing, you say Deadline reported that. Also because until it becomes like announced by an outlet, you don't want to state it because if it turns out not to be true, by citing them, you can say their reporting was fucked up. We just said that we heard it from that guy, right? So that's what they did. But they also grabbed screen grabs from my Instagram. Now, they had already emailed me. They were asking to use a video and they were going to pay me some money for it to include in an article. When they asked me, I said, what's the article about? They were like, oh, it's just about like isolated polygamous couples. I said, no, thank you. We're not polygamous. And here's why you're so wrong. And
here's why you're wrong.
Right? It's my specialty. This is why you're wrong is like what I am great. It's just a hobby of mine, if anything.
You look very hot right now, by the way.
Thank you. Being right? I know. I look so hot when I'm right.
God.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I take it back.
I said, well, you know what? Because of that, I'm uneasy unless you want to like compensate me. And they were going to throw me some cash. So I was like, okay, cool. It's tough times. While I'm waiting for word from them on which video to send, I get the Google alerts. And I'm pissed because they grabbed screenshots from Instagram of one of your other boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm your boyfriend too. Hi.
You are. Hi.
They grabbed a screen grab of quote unquote Kyle from my Insta, as well as one with you with no makeup, which was like just not nice because like there's so many hot photos of you. There's no reason to grab a bad one.
I love that we were talking about our current situation. You have to give them that. And I, for one, have no shame in my non-makeup face. I think I happen to look pretty okay. Not great. I was working out. I've been a little stressed. Okay. But like it's not the most offensive thing to me. And I think people who see me in real life will be like, okay, she's cute in real life. But yes, you were very offensive.
The lowest
you were
common
like
denominator of reader. But anyways, they had a lot of that stuff, and so I was really pissed that they were outing Kyle, quote unquote, via a photo. And
who isn't a public figure.
Yeah, he's
doesn't
not,
do
there's no public interest in doing that.
Instagram like as much. Yeah.
He, among anyone in his house, has what is considered like a reasonable right to privacy because he's not a public figure. There's no public interest in his identity. It's not like he's a whistleblower at the State Department where there's a public interest or something like that. Okay. So anyways, they did that, and I had to like email, and then also I was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to get paid for the. They were like, oh, instead of paying him, let's take shitty, blurry screenshots. Yeah. So I'm like emailing the guy. I'm pissed. I'm tweeting. I'm DMing. I'm like, someone better fucking call me right now. Here's my number. And I'm getting this guy who I'm like, first things before we talk about why I'm pissed, get the fucking picture of Kyle down fucking now. He's using a pseudonym. Even you said he's using a pseudonym.
It says in the article that he's using a pseudonym.
So they got that down immediately. Good. And then I spoke to like the editor of that section of the site, and then I fucking chewed her out. She was very gracious. She really took it on the chin and just kept saying I'm sorry and kept trying to figure out how she could make it right, and she did. She gave me some link backs that I wanted, stuff, so it worked out. But it was very stressful. It was a stressful like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then I had a phone call with Vice at 2:00 because they want us to do
like just lining these things up.
Look, it's weird. If you just say you're poly on the internet, eventually they'll all be like, oh, hi, you're interesting.
And I think for me, like, this is all very new because I haven't been open about my polyamory since right after we started dating seriously.
You're not a press hound. Like, you're not out trying to get coverage.
And I'm not. And for me, it's like I still am somewhat private about my personal life. So like this even is still me getting adjusted. Yeah, it's all his fault.
Podcast baby.
I'm actually pretty, secret. Podcast baby. Podcast baby. So this is all pretty new for me. So for him, I'm trying to stay calm, cool, and collected because I'm like, I am not fully aware of the full spectrum of the situation.
Oh yeah,
I know
the whole time the Daily Mail thing's going down, I didn't even tell you right away.
Yeah,
I was just like, because I didn't want y'all to freak out. I didn't want him to freak out.
Luckily, he took it totally fine.
Yeah. So what was that like? So you came in and I was still dealing with it, but you happened to walk in and I pointed out to you. Yeah. And I guess you told him. So what did you say to him? What was his actual reaction? And
well, I talked to him. I was like, hey, so just so you know, Billy wrote an article about our current situation.
I got interviewed. I didn't write
anything. You were interviewed for an article. It was in New York Magazine. We used a pseudonym for you, but I told him that another outlet picked it up. They took a screenshot of your photo that he took with you of the dogs. You can't really see your face, but he had them take it down. And he was like, okay, I don't have any issue like with any of that. Like, I understand that you're trying to protect me, but I'm actually okay with all that. And I was like, I just think it's for the best that we keep it like this. Just God forbid, because you do have a normal job. Mm-hmm. You know, like for us, like I'm self-employed. You know, like I don't know if I'd consider myself a public figure, but I am in the public.
Doesn't it say public figure on your Instagram?
Yeah, I think it says something else.
I think it literally says.
I don't think it. I want to change it to something weird.
Yeah,
also,
like what?
It also says I'm a male when I identify as a female, just because Instagram algorithms.
Personal blog.
Yeah, see, personal blog. Because I do activism stuff, and I am. It
also says you're
somewhat
a
in the
makeout
public.
enthusiast.
I am a makeout enthusiast. Do you want to make out?
Can confirm.
10-10 into making out. All true, baby.
Yeah. Okay, so he took it really well.
He actually took it a lot better than I would have anticipated.
How'd you feel when I showed you?
I mean, for me, like, it's just one of those things. I know that your life is your personal, you know, your work is your personal life. And for me, it's like I had to accept that a long time ago. And it took months of adjusting. So now this is just what comes with that.
So, well, let's say that, you know, I've talked about this for years because I had to have it with Paige and I had it with Shay. And,
being your girlfriend is serious.
Huh?
Being your girlfriend is serious. Comes with extra stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't get nearly as many benefits as advertised. He's a lot more difficult than we thought. But
he tells me he loves me every like 10 minutes. Not that difficult. I know.
you run out of things to say, and it's like when in doubt, like you usually don't get in trouble for saying I love you. So
yeah, but then it has to make up for things where he is literally hands
Right.
inside of me, being like, "Oh, if I wasn't here, I'd be fucking a ton of other people," and
that
I'm
is
like,
not
"Cool,
the order of
wrong
events.
time.
Those were
Were
not.
we not in bed together?"
They were not concurrent events. They were consecutive events. Your Honor. My hand was not inside her at the
Wow.
time of saying anything.
Were you in
untoward.
bed together?
Right, but my hand was not inside you.
Okay,
Those are
right before
vastly
your
different
hands were going to be
things.
inside of me.
Still, that's the barrier. Billy, when does it become inappropriate? When I'm in there.
Okay,
But
all right. Well, I'm
That's
just
my
saying.
stance. You can tell me I'm wrong.
I'll take the I love yous. Thank you.
All right, I'll keep saying it.
Yes, it's been a
but-
interesting day.
Well, so what I was going to say was, with my other exes, there at some point in the relationship becomes a quote unquote like podcast talk about like what we're going to say, what we're not going to say, like what I have to ask for before, like all that. So do you want to like describe the experience of me bringing that up and us having the podcast talk?
It definitely was a really strange thing. And when did it happen? Like 6 months in, I guess?
Something like that,
Right?
I definitely tried to wait a little bit because of Shay's relationship. Like we
It was
dated
fast.
We dated 3 months. It felt like 3 years. I mean, I think I said I love you after 2 months, and we had a podcast talk in the first 1 or 2 months.
Yeah.
So purposefully, now that was an overcorrection on the page where like I really dragged my feet.
And started talking about it earlier.
Yeah, so I was trying to not do it too quickly with you, but yeah. So to just describe the experience of like me bringing up this topic, and if you whatever you remember of the talk, if you can share.
No, I mean I remember a little bit. I mean, first off, you're my first comedian or podcast.
You're so lucky.
Boyfriend. So that itself was a little bit of adjustment. And I mean, hearing myself talked about on a podcast was very weird. And then all of a sudden I was talked about on all the podcasts. I felt like you released or were on like 4 podcasts in 1 week. And it was and it was like, oh, I'm a cum bucket now.
Wait, that was the recent time, right?
No, like the one before that. And it was like when you first decided to like when we had the podcast talk, and I was like, I am hearing so much. I am hearing more about me from a podcast than I am from you directly. I was like, I think I'm hearing you talk about me more this way than we are actually talking. Yeah, and I try to be supportive and like listen to stuff, and it's kind of fun
It's
hearing
just weird
about
when they say like, "Hey, what have you been up to lately?" And I'm dating, I have a new girlfriend. It's hard to be like, "Well, I had this one blowjob over here, and then I have an entirely new romantic relationship over here. Which do you want to hear about?" It's hard.
blowjobs.
There's way more to talk about with you.
I'd hope so.
What came up in the talk? What do you remember of the
you
actual
definitely were
talk?
like, what are the do's and don'ts? What are you comfortable sharing with our relationship and with your other relationships?
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you okay with sharing your work, your Instagram, your actual name? Do you want to use a pseudonym, or do you want people to actually know who you are? But we were already sharing stuff before then, so I don't think a pseudonym would have been helpful anyways.
Wait, you mean sharing stuff on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah, but also that was by your doing. Like I kind of tried not to just shove you into my social media until you were kind of already doing it to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, it's fine because she's okay putting me in hers, and it was more about like, okay, are we tagging you? Also, like you can have a pseudonym, like Paige and Shay had very different stipulations with all this. So Paige was a very like, say my name, it's all fair game pretty much to talk about. I think there was like one thing that I wasn't supposed to share on air, and yeah, like I was supposed to say her last name, but like obviously she said I could tag her and stuff.
Yeah.
Shay was like, let's not name me. At the time, and then Shay did the podcast episode 260, so this is all kosher now, but I wasn't allowed to name them. Respecting their pronouns was crucial.
That's important.
Because they had just started coming out as genderqueer, I think, when we had the talk, and I couldn't tag them in stuff on Instagram, but I was allowed to post of us. And then on Twitter, people kind of found her on Twitter just because we would interact on Twitter. And so people just kind of put the pieces together. So everyone has their own rules. Like, and I'm open to all sorts of rules. So like a pseudonym would have been fine with you.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm a public person. And, for me, it's like if I'm if I'm deciding to be in a relationship with somebody, like seriously, it's an all or nothing kind of thing. And I know that this is your work and things like that. So I'm like, I don't mind you sharing me. And I actually think that that's kind of a way that you show that you care and love is definitely with the like actions.
I do better in general with you tell me when something happens and you don't want it in public, because I think sometimes if the rules are too complicated, it's a lot easier to mess them up.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then at 2:00 there was the Vice thing, and I had to interview for that docuseries that they want us to do a thing, which I actually think would be good for us. I trust their intentions, and I like how your response was.
What?
We getting paid?
Yeah. That's my response for everything.
Yeah.
Am I making money?
Yeah, so I had that call, and then at 5:00 then I went for a run, and I needed that.
Yes, it was good.
I need to sweat out my high.
I
had
took
to
a
get
shower.
stoned. I got stoned at like 10:30 in the morning just to deal with all of this.
Whereas I cleaned my entire house.
And then after my run, I just finished doing this podcast called Revenge of the Cis.
What
CIS,
is that?
like cisgender, as in like, hey guys, we're being oppressed because we're cisgender.
That's what that is?
I mean, it's a comedy podcast, so
God.
they're saying it tongue in cheek.
Okay.
But, one of the hosts did at one point reference like the nuclear family is like now this thing that's like kind of
Oppressed.
different. Yeah, I don't want to put words in his mouth and say like oppressed, but he was suggesting that like the nuclear family, the traditional family, is no longer the norm, and I would say they still vastly outnumber us. They're not getting as much press, and that's okay. They've got a jump
They've got enough.
Yeah, it's kind of an edgelord show a little bit, but you know what? I will give this to them. Just like I don't love the Daily Mail as a media outlet, but that particular editor was very helpful and speedy. These two dudes were much more fair than I expected. But they did ask some thoughtful questions. They did it was a heated discussion, but we did have a discussion.
I heard it from 2 rooms over.
Right.
And I was like, oh God, I was so tempted to come. So like you can see the window from my backyard. I was so tempted to like rub my tits on the window to just distract them. I was like, oh, maybe he's doing well though. I don't want to distract.
I would have turned the laptop so they
I'm not showing my tits for free.
It was a heated but as fairer than I expected discussion. So,
That's good.
And at the end, they were like, "Look, most of you fucking, they didn't say this, but I sensed it. I sensed in their tone.
What did you sense?
I sensed. They said, "Look, a lot of people, can't go the full hour. They at some point get fed up and say, fuck you guys.' I sensed.
Sounds about right.
Billy, a bunch of these like pussy progressive types like you normally can't hang, and they get the wham, and then they leave." I think that's what I sensed they meant, but they did give me credit where credit was due for just kind of going the full rounds with them. I don't know. It didn't seem like terrible humans. I might even do it again. Look at that. They were like, "Hey, we'd have you back on." I'd be like, you know what? I might even do it. But yeah, so it's been a day, and then I ate your pussy afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he came in. I was like actually taking my birth control, and he came in from behind me in the bathroom, and he's like, "You need to come with me right now. I need to eat your pussy like a man."
Yeah, I was like, I need to assert myself.
Yeah, assert that dominance, baby. Which is so silly, so silly.
Yeah, how's it doing at the pussy eating?
Muy bien.
Muy bien. That's all you want to say.
Muy bien.
You want to give me like a full review now? That's okay. It's fine.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't know. I think I need to work up for that, or I need like requests, and I feel like it's been done. I don't know. Go to your Reddit.
So day 7. Tonight we have Never Have I Ever.
Yeah, we have Never Have I Ever I've never played it yet.
You've never
really
played?
No, I've played it. I always win, sadly, or I lose. I always lose because I do all the things. I do a lot of things.
Here's a fun move, everybody. Never Have I Ever doesn't have to be sexual.
No, I've played it where you do it non-sexual because I grew up, in a Catholic school. So the earlier days when I used to do Never Have I Ever, I would do it with like virgins, and we'd be, a little bit more respectful towards that, and we try to make it non-sexual.
Never have I ever cheated on an exam.
I've definitely done that. German class. Don't tell anyone.
Never have I ever looked at my hoo-ha in the mirror.
Fuck, I'm still losing. I'm still losing at this.
Never, ever, ever said the F word.
Which one?
Good job, baby. That's why I love you. You're fun. Yeah,
I'm so fun.
You're so fun. I'm looking forward to playing with the fan orders with you tonight.
Yeah, and eating pizza.
I'm gonna eat some Domino's.
I have some candles lit.
Maybe
some romantic pizza eating.
Maybe my penis will come out at some point.
Maybe. See. Okay. I'll just cradle it. Just nudge.
Well, folks, go to manorpod.com for all your Manor podcast needs. Follow me on Instagram at BillyIsPresita. Megan?
If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. Just doing the thirst traps and, a lot of other shit actually too. But, if you're just there for the thirst traps, no hate.
I know you're new to podcasting still.
I am new to podcasting.
So it's like and Megan, where would they find you on Instagram? Right, you got to say the handle.
Fine. It's Miss Giggles, 3 G's. What did the G's mean?
It might even good
again,
game.
Yeah.
It might even help to spell. You say
M-S-G-I.
You go G-I. You can follow me on it.
You're still going.
I'm trying to give you an example of how to.
Okay, teach me how to
plug yourself. When they say, "Oh, and Megan, where can they find you?" You say, "You can find me on Instagram at Miss Giggles," and that's Miss Giggles, MS3GsLES.
All right, you ready?
Or is it 2 L's? I'm not sure.
Let me do it now. And you can find me at Miss Giggles, MSGIGGGLES.
Is it 1 L?
Yes, okay. 1 L. Good job. I originally had the original Miss Giggles, and then in college, I decided to get rid of it, and then within 12 hours, somebody stole the username. And this is back in 2013, 2012. I was like, God damn it. But I like the 3 Gs now.
Well,
I don't hate it.
Tomorrow, let's maybe we can do a little more origin story stuff.
Ooh.
Maybe talk about your because you've only been doing non-monogamy for a little bit of time.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it too long.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that. Little mini interview.
That's a good one.
And for now, everybody go follow us on the places.
Corona Cast. Ass. Who's the masculine one now?
Still not me. I'm still the cuck.
Corona Cast.
Hey everybody, it's Billy.
Megan.
Is day 8 of quarantine. We woke up to a stir.
Woke up to some messages. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. I woke up to very thoughtful and nice messages about my account, and then 5 people who knew me in real life sent me screenshots on Snapchat being like, "I just saw you on the Daily Mail."
Yeah, which we'd come to terms with. It's all good and fine until they repurposed the article for their Snapchat story, and in that they used the picture of your other partner.
Yeah, which we specifically, this was all under Billy. None of this are my words used.
The lady
but I
is
gave him
it's not gonna come up. We deleted it from everywhere. Yeah. It won't show up, and then it did. And they called him boyfriend number 2. Yeah,
which is not cool. And also, nobody quoted me on any of this. I just gave permission to use my likeness in it. Not his.
We didn't give permission for the photos, but we just one of the options was to take the article down entirely. And yesterday I said, no, it's okay. They added the thing, they edited what they needed to edit.
Yeah.
But then when they did the Snapchat team, just separate group, did not get the fucking memo. And then it literally took an hour or two to get a photo, a thing off of their Snap story.
Which they didn't have permission from him or you to use because it's your photo.
Is a whole thing. And when you realize, now this is the sad state of journalism that something on a Snap story actually is going to get read more probably than the actual article.
Definitely.
But what was your initial emotional response when you realized we and your other partner were on the Snap story?
Definitely a little anxiety. For me, as you know, I actually haven't been that open with the public about my current relationship status. Like I just allude to things. I've never fully come out and been like, hey, I'm polyamorous and this is what I'm doing. Because I actually think it's more fun to keep it, kind of people guessing.
Yeah, like you'll post things
multiple
of
men
me with a boyfriend, and you'll post with this guy who's a boyfriend.
Who are not my boyfriends.
You'll post guys, and then so people let them figure it out.
Yeah, and it's been really fun that way because it's kind of seeing how much people presume that any one of the opposite sex that you post on the internet with yourself, they just presume that you are having sexual relations with, which is so not the case. And also, I'm bi, so why does that not happen when I pose with women?
We all just hope for it, but yeah, it was that was stressful. How are you feeling now?
I mean, I'm coming to terms with it. Like I said, like it's only just photos of me. Like I'm not quoted in anything. And it was kind of very weird to see like this gigantic photo of me on the Daily Mail that I took yesterday, like in our home, which at least we took good photos. Like I don't have any complaints about the way I look in it. I look the way I look. It's fine. But it was just like people sending it to me that I don't inherently know that well, but I've like met in person. They're like, hey, just so you know, I didn't know if I need to break this to you, but you're in the Daily Mail. And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Did they have any comments about what that revealed?
No, nobody commented on the actual article. They were just commented on me being in it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I know this person. Like nobody said anything negative or positive. It was just more of a reaction
saying, like,
to.
I didn't know that about you.
No, nobody. Okay. I think people, the way that I run my life, and I say the same thing because it's like nobody asks me when I'm having children or like getting married. Only like strangers of my grandparents will ask me, but nobody in my actual life, not even my own parents, ask me those things because I think I've always lived my life a very weird and off the grid way. And I've kind of just always just beat it to my own drum. So people just don't want to ask me those things very weirdly, even though I'm an open book if people ask that I know.
Okay.
He's just posing here with his like jeans and shirt off like he wants to be like an Abercrombie model, which you probably could have. I've seen pictures of you in college. You looked like an Abercrombie model.
Yeah, they asked me to work there for
boom.
Yeah, I worked there for a month and then I quit.
I can't even step into that store because
have they changed the doors to be like the width of the people they want to buy their clothes?
Whoa, fuck you.
Happened? What? No, that's fuck them. I want wide open doors. What are you
No,
talking
they
about?
have wide open doors. I just think it wasn't even the fact that they didn't make my size or something that would even fit my calf. It was the like sense that they would put into the vents would give me such severe headaches. Do you remember that back in the day?
I mean, I do like that. I still own
Oh my God.
Fierce.
Oh my
Their
God.
Cologne. Yeah.
That shit was
It's my main
toxic.
cologne.
Oh, babe.
You've fallen for it, so.
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't remember
I wore it on our
any.
first date.
I wore it on. Wow, you were excited.
Yeah.
You like me.
I do. Yeah, it was weird having them ask me to work there because I was like, you guys don't really make my size. Like, you guys hide the size 38 waist, but okay.
Wow, 38s they were hiding.
I was,
Fuck that.
I was a 36. I've always been like a 36, bordering on
you're
38.
Like a 36 right now.
I'm actually more of a 34, except for the gut and the thighs. It's more like the thighs, everything in between, above and below my waist.
The thighs
is in
are
a
the
34,
best, though,
but my waist is a 34. These are 36, and look at all the
but
room.
The thighs are good.
What I'm saying is, I can't fit into a
trust
34.
me, I know. Sizing is a bitch. Yeah. I can be a medium and a 3XL in the same day. How does that make sense?
That's weird.
That is so many sizes.
Do you have any other quarantining observations, tips, or tricks?
Ooh, I definitely think Zoom hangouts. I definitely think staying social, staying, within your community, having these fun conversations is such a great idea. So you hosting that, like, Never Have I Ever was really nice. So especially because, like, we're both kind of social people. You in a different outlet, but I'm definitely a social person.
We had like 15 fan whores.
Yeah, they're all so sweet.
Yeah.
That was like what won me over. I was so nervous to go to ManwhoreCon the way that you described it because I was like, oh God. And I almost broke up with you anyway, so I should have been nervous.
Wait, around that?
Yeah.
Wait, when were you almost going to break up with me?
Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I don't ask things I don't want to know.
After we had sex, I was talking to one of your fans. You were sitting next to me, and then you crawled under the blanket to eat somebody else out mid-conversation. And I almost never talked to you again until I realized that you were blackout drunk and didn't remember that you did it.
I wasn't blackout, but like I don't remember that I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. And I was like, if you ever do that again, we're over.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimatums.
Yeah, without asking me. If you're there with me, and
I mean,
we just
it's not like we were at some party.
We
that
were
you were
literally
at.
sitting on the couch
Right, well,
together, and I'm talking to two of your fans, trying to be, and I'm new to all of this.
Right.
I would have been, if you asked, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. Not mid conversation while people are staring at me awkwardly, being like, what the fuck?
I do not.
Your fans.
I do not have recollection of this.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So I almost broke up with you like 3 times. So.
All right, so I almost broke up with you like twice. So
Wow. This one, different place.
yes, it did.
You almost broke up with me twice?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to talk about it?
Do you?
Go for it.
Well, the last fight we had, like, definitely. When I came over, I was prepared. I came over here prepared. I mean, I kind of spent the entire afternoon and early evening just numbing myself with the reality that I might come back to Bushwick that night single.
Yeah.
And so, because I was very prepared to stand up for myself and X, Y, and Z. And I had to, like,
that's fair.
prep myself. So I assumed we were breaking up that night.
Yeah.
And I was assuming I was going to probably have to do it to you. But as you always do, you are at a 0 hour, you are perfect. And you like say the right thing that I need to hear to let me know I should stay in this relationship. Every time that it's come close, you say something that makes me go like, wow, that's not how this person or that person would have reacted. And it's one of the things I love about you, because like, you know how to say you're sorry. You don't make me drag it out of you. That's important for me.
Thank you.
Especially since I've spent a lot of my other relationships apologizing the whole time, scared of not having it. And now, as much as like I wouldn't want to break up, I have to be prepared to do that if I think that's what's the best thing for me.
Agreed.
And,
I agree.
So I mean, the most recently was that time, whenever that was. So
No, I felt similarly during that time as well. I was like, this can go very opposite ways.
yeah, but did you think you were going to dump me, or did you think I would break up with you?
Possibly.
Did
Yeah,
you
because
think
I didn't want to keep hurting you.
Did you think I was going to break up with you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Good. Yeah. You sounded pretty upset. And I think that would have been, like I said, like I thought that I was hurting you and I didn't know what to do to stop hurting you. And that doesn't make me happy. I don't want to hurt you. So it's like, if this, continues on this path, then maybe we shouldn't see each other.
And I very much understand that. It's why I was going to break up with Paige, because not because of anything as much as like, oh, I don't think this relationship is good for her anymore.
Yeah.
And I didn't think she would end it. And then, what happened. So
That's fair. But we're all learning.
We're
doing better.
all right. And
I think we're doing great
Yeah?
right now. Do you think we're doing great?
I think we're doing pretty great.
Okay. Pretty great. Room for improvement.
Always, baby.
Always. That's fair. That's very, my family would agree. Corona Cast.
I hope you enjoyed that extra dose of podcast this week and this weekend, everybody. You can follow Megan on Instagram at Miss Giggles, MSGI3GsLES. Or you can subscribe to her OnlyFans at That Fat Babe. You can follow me on the socials. I'm on Twitter at @TheBillyProcida. I'm on Instagram at BillyIsProcida. And if you want to become a member of our fan whore community on Patreon, visit patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. If you're really appreciating the extra podcast coming from me and Megan during these times, but you're into more of a one-time donation kind of thing, in the show notes of this episode, you will see both of our Venmo and Cash App handles. Anything you throw over there, super extra appreciated. Next week on the Man Whore Podcast, we've got porn star newcomer Alex Jett. Dude's got a bit of a story, and it's always interesting to talk to male talent because you just look them in the eyes and you're just like, man, you get paid to fuck. Till next week, everybody, don't stay slutty. Like, don't like never be slutty again, but like put a pause to said sluttiness. Should I say discontinue? Suspend? I'd like suspend. Suspend your sluttiness. But sluttiness, I don't like that word either. I don't. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'll see y'all on Wednesday.